when dreams and reality collide. A life is turned upside down. Thrust into a conflict where ancient shadows fight secret wars. For control of the future. Her allies hide in plain sight. But so do her enemies.
All right. Welcome to the stream. Hey, I had Bandito in here, and then he just dropped out, so hopefully he'll be back in a second. But, I can carry my own show for a while, wait till some people get in here. And we can then get this party started. This is the lunch hour stream, the lunch break stream. I'm pretty sure that Elago. Oh, you got to work up to it, Elago. If you want them to come back, you can't just smang and what's a fifth find or something, smang and run. You got to you got to know how to work it. Otherwise, it can be dangerous for everyone involved. Dragon Smith is here. This is in response to the screen what's it called? Whatever it is, the image on the video. I still can't believe they're censoring reprints and removing cigars and titties from the comics. It needs to stop. It's cultural genocide. I absolutely agree. The fact that they get rid of the cigars is just an absolute joke. I understand that the morality police come in waves. Hey, who's here? What's bizarre? Bandito.
I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I'm still having audio issues. So I'm just going to drop out again.
Okay. Do you want me to kick you out? There he's gone. No, great. Whoa, guys, $15K, $15,000. I just I put up the stream and I was going to put a big 15K celebration exclamation point, maybe chuck in a couple of other exclamation points, and then I got a refund. And I was like, oh, so I changed that to a question mark instead. But it looks like it's back. 15,000. We did it. Can you believe it? 200. We're 10 backers away from freaking 300 backers. I can't believe it. Hey, Fusion 24/7 Fusion Media's here. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Hail to you too. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, this has been an exciting day for me. I've been running on almost no sleep the last couple of days. Just a lot of stuff going on in my life, and also working on this cartoon, which we'll talk about. But this is it's all exciting things happening right now. We've got a bunch of new subscribers now. Are you there, Bandito?
I am here. Hail and well met.
Absolutely.
What a great day today.
That's what I want to hear from you when I say hello.
Yeah, sorry, I had two sets of headphones plugged in. So
right, I see.
And all the wrong ones on my head.
All good.
So we're celebrating. Did we hit 15K? What's happening?
Well, we did. I was just explaining to the chat that we did hit 15K, and then I got a refund, and so we were like 14,997 or something.
Oh.
And believe it or not, people fund campaign is outrageous. It's a travesty. It does happen. And now look, it's back 290. That's 10, just 10 backers off 300.
That's insane.
That's
You're gonna crush,
isn't it?
crush 300 onto 400. How good?
Oh
how
wow,
cool is
we'll
that?
let's think about 300 first. I
I'm
love
thinking
that
about
movie,
400
300.
right now, and you can't tell me what to do.
All right. Hey, Samurai's here. How you going, Samurai?
Hail
I'm doing
Blue.
very well. Hail and well met.
Yep. Blue, you have got to figure out your audio, dude. Seriously, you can't just like mute yourself every time. There must be a train coming in. It's
There was a train just there now. Yes, it was the worst timing to come on.
That's okay. We'll listen to your train. It's all good. 15K means we have time to listen to your train. That's
Okay.
what 15K is.
At least I was allowed to put the train set up. You know, when I found it, when I was cleaning, I was allowed to build the rails,
Anyone
make a few
know
loops.
who's Babs Tar?
Babs Tar. Let's find out.
We can have a look at that and see if we want to talk about it. I don't know. I don't know if it's a bad situation. I might not want to talk about it because this is going to be a fun show because there's a lot of fun stuff happening, and Antoine Dennison's here. Cygnus 5, the new Ethan cartoon is fabulous. Congrats on 15K. Yeah, it's it's just an exciting day. I'm just in a good mood today.
Good.
I don't know if you guys caught it, but I just popped onto Dan Frager's show as well and had a little say hello. I don't know. I just saw he was streaming and I saw the link was in there and clicked it and I got on straight away.
Yeah,
he says,
"Don't
look then." Yeah.
We all had a turn
right.
on Frigga's show today.
You did.
Poland was there. I was there for, I don't know, a solid hour and a half or so.
Wow.
Blue, you were the only one that was missing. Even Michael got in right at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, and Joe was
Sorry.
there.
I was on for about 10, 15 minutes.
And then you got punched.
I did. That was cool. It really worked too. He really I was surprised that well it worked.
I got unblocked by Frege. That's how he got rid of me. So
yeah, right. I saw that he's obviously blocked someone. I think that's what they're saying now. If you block someone, and Twitter is just kind of taking up people in that. I don't know if it's necessarily a blockchain, but I don't block people, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't block anybody.
I just mute them.
Yeah, I'm not even muting anybody either. I feel like there's a lot of people expressing their pain right now, and the reality is sometimes those voices need to be heard. And when you start muting people and blocking people, the voices will find a way. It's like putting a cork in a I don't know.
Life will find a way. Well,
Yeah.
hey, I mean, when I say I mute people, I've muted a couple of antis here and there, and just some really weird, crazy SJW types who you start a conversation with them thinking you're going into a conversation with a normal person, and then you kind of leave and you say, all right, well, let's have to agree to disagree. And then 2 days later, they're still adding you with, just wanting I don't know. I'm like, dude, I gave you the last word. Take it.
So that's why you muted me. Now I know.
Yes. That's why I'm not seeing it.
You thought you're getting into a conversation with a normal person, and
well, I didn't block one person, but I did unfollow him. See, first I followed him because it was just, hey, weightlifting, we all lift weights, this is cool. Say an encouraging word like that looked good, man. He I guess he's in his garage doing, all sorts of deadlifts like 100 other people. And then I thought that these were jokes that he was making to, be ironic, mocking other people. And it turned out, no, those weren't jokes to mock other people. He really was a white supremacist. So I just unfollowed that crap.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There are definitely valid reasons.
But yeah, that definitely does seem to be a bit too much liberal blocking and muting going on out there at the moment. I don't know, we all just need to learn to love each other and live with each other. I mean, we might not all love each other. We don't have to like each other, but we have to learn to at least live with each other, because I don't think any of us are going away. But anyway, guys, $15,000. That's a lot of scratch. That can print a lot of comic books.
It can print a lot of comic books. It gives you a lot of freedom for your future projects. This is the beginning of a fan base that's going to be following to see where the story goes. This is the beginning of a movement of people getting books in their hands and then loudly exclaiming how satisfied they are with the product. Like, this is the beginning of a lot of things.
A lot of things. I agree.
Hail Poland.
Hi,
I don't
Poland.
know what he was saying because I just got here, but I
He said
agree.
a lot of
He was
things.
saying a lot of things.
I was saying a lot of things.
I agree.
Dang.
I agree with everything Bandito said.
You agree? Yep. Oh God, we're gonna have to kick you now if you agree with all that.
Oh dear. Even I don't agree with
Michael.
everything.
Michael, it's so good to be in your presence tonight.
Oh, thank you, Poland.
The
You're always
shining-
so kind to me.
The shining light on the hill for us. That's why I
Here's,
told
a,
Frege
here's
too.
a message I can definitely get behind. Lives matter. Hell yeah.
Yep.
They do matter. Immensely.
Yeah.
Live streams matter.
Live streams matter.
matter.
Great segue, Blue. Wow. That's a good one.
I'm going to be a little in and out because I'm in the middle of making dinner because my Zoom meeting went really over. So didn't have a
Damn,
chance.
those
But
Zoom meetings, they always do that.
you can
So-
ask Bandito. I had to yank myself out earlier.
That's true. He had to drop in the middle
I don't
of
want to ask
Frega's
you
stream.
about you yanking yourself. Let's keep this
in the middle of Frega's
listening.
stream.
And
It
right
was-
in the middle of the stream, Frege
I'm
just
good.
gave him the kick.
So am I going to have to go back and watch this whole thing? Because obviously I just caught the very tail end of it.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, all right,
Absolutely.
I'll do that. I'll do that after this while I'm
You were
working.
highly praised, not even by us, but by the chat as well. There's a lot of people that were saying how much they were interested in the Lucent and excited about it coming out. And
Oh, excellent. Well, on that note, now that this cartoon is off my back, off my shoulders, out of my life, I kicked it out the door.
you're ready for the next one.
No. No, I'm ready to just focus 100% on the Lucent. I've got lots of things I need to do for this book, get it ready for print. Lots of little ideas percolating and everything. And we
It's getting to
also
that time.
have to
Yeah.
think about what we're going to do now. This was supposed to be our 30-day kind of goal. And thanks to some amazing promotion by guys like Ethan and Liam, and just I don't know, just more people seeing it now. More people are just seeing it. I can see the view count going up and up and up. And now I've got to think about, okay, well, how do we keep people interested for the next 26 days? And that's going to have to include a stretch goal. So we're going to have to think about that. We're going to have to brainstorm that.
Yes.
Liam mentioned a new, like a big poster, a full-size poster. It would have to be folded still, but it would be bigger than the other one that I have in the campaign.
That'd be awesome.
And it would have to be new art too. I wouldn't just kind of recycle anything. It would have to be something new. I did like the idea of showing the, the Ella in her final form. It's just kind of a standalone piece. To kind of get people interested in
What a
the
great
character and
reveal
everything.
too, man. That would be awesome to have it as a poster.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't know. I've got ideas rolling in my head, but the first thing I have to do is I have to get everything that I've got that's sort of available in the campaign now into the box that I've got and weigh it, because I need to know how much weight I have left for that sort of stuff, and if I can do the big poster or the smaller poster or whatever.
Smart man, Antoine. Smart man.
I'm not reading the chat.
What's Antoine saying?
He said someone tried to pull me into a meeting at 6:30 a.m. just as my shift was ending. I pretend I didn't get the link.
Oh yeah.
So have you shown the cartoon?
I haven't yet. I was waiting for you guys to come here.
Yeah, let's
Noticane
do
says
that.
that's a great cartoon.
I'm going to duck out for a second and I'll be right back.
Antoine's watched it like a dozen times. Well, I was saying to you guys, on Twitter that I've been tricky with this one. I've made it so like the jokes, to keep the pacing up, the jokes come in quick and fast and then they're gone. That'll make sure that you have to go back and watch it plenty of times to catch all the little subtle visual things that's going on. All right, let me.
I love the Psylocke poster. That was great.
Psylocke was always I was a young man back in the early 90s. I was 12,
Still a young
13. And she was always just the big, that Jim Lee Psylocke. That was just like the siren, she was just like the hottest thing I'd ever seen at that time in my life. So I thought, that's what I thought it was really hate that. All right, let's pull this up here. All right, so is Bandito coming back, or he's just said he's out of here?
He's
he said
duck
he'll be
out.
right
What's going
back.
on?
I'm gonna go check on my
okay.
dinner. While this plays bareback.
Show the
I get what
cartoon,
you're
talk
saying there.
about it after, he says. Okay. Oh, this is great.
Okay, all right.
I was late. I thought I missed the cartoon debut.
No, I haven't played it yet. I was waiting for you guys to get in here and also get a few people in. We've got 15 people in here, so all right, let's show it. This is my great labor, and I hope you enjoy it.
Comicsgate started because Marvel Comics opened the door to left-wing activists. They say, nice hobby that you have. It's a little bit sexist, don't you think? Maybe you better let us in to fix it. Bitch, it wasn't made for you. You had no business coming in here and ruining it. You killed the comic book industry, and you weak-ass fat beard cucks who let these bitches come in here and make it unhospitable. Tell the fans that they're Nazis if they don't like their characters being destroyed. And nobody wants to speak out. Going to be like, oh my goodness. Even though he is 100% absolutely right about this problem, I do not want to be attacked by cat ladies on Twitter. I'm afraid of that blue-haired land whale. I'm fucking Ahab. I'm Captain Ahab of the blue-haired land whale. Fuck them. This hobby means something to so many people. You be Captain Ahab too. Tell the truth. Talk about what's gone wrong. Because if you don't talk about it, and if you're afraid, then this hobby over the years will be gone for good. Now, I'm afraid the comics as we have understood them are dead. The comic book industry as we have known it is dead. But comic books are you. The comic book industry is you. If we're not going to fix this, nobody is. They're going to sit there and go, it was because of COVID. We don't know what happened. It's just suddenly comic. No. Left-wing activists came in and decided to take over this industry, spit in your faces, and destroy what you loved. Wake up. That is what happened to the hobby that you cherished. What classic stories are coming out of the social justice warrior generation of comics? Nothing. We're not worried about secret identities anymore. We're worried about identity politics. Oh, we got to represent more people. Why don't you entertain people? Why don't you stop applauding yourself? 2017 Marvel Retailer Conference, some brave retailers stood up and said, I can't sell this shit. You're changing Thor into a woman. I can't sell it. Where is Bruce Banner? Who is this little Asian kid who enjoys being the Hulk? Fuck this. I can't sell it. You're killing my store. I can't sell these comics. And you know what Marvel did? Marvel made fun of them. Called them bigots. Said, we hear you. You're saying you don't like women. And it was over. It was over at that point. It was just over. The comic book industry was dead.
And there you go. I'm going to close this. No, I'm not going to close it. I'm going to stop it. There we go. There you go, boys. Hey, everyone's muted.
Oh, I'm here. What's up? What's up?
You got some reactions?
Okay. Oh, can you zip it back to Spider Person?
Yep. I thought people might request some key moments.
There we go.
The fabulous Spider Person coming soon.
It's a different detail every time I watch it. First, I saw the
pick it
rainbow,
apart.
the word fabulous. The next time I watched
It's not
it,
only just the rainbow too.
Fabulous.
fabulous.
It's got the pink in there for trans, and then remember they wanted to add in the brown stripe for Black Lives Matter.
Okay, sure. But it's one thing.
Covered it all.
It took 2 watches to notice the gut on there, and another look,
The gut.
and I'm like, oh, there's a sickle in. I'm sorry, grunt.
I'm just
grunt?
seeing that now.
There's a hammer and sickle. Wait, those are breasts. That was one notice. I mean, this time I saw the tattoo. I'm just going like, how many Easter eggs are in here?
Antoine says, with my diet and lack of exercise, I'm starting to look like that Spider-Man. Well, hey, bigot,
Hopefully not with the
it
boobs.
is not Spider-Man. It is Spider-Person. I'll thank you very much. This is a gender-neutral character. So, yeah, coming soon to Marvel.
The curse.
Yeah. A highly cursed image, this one. Someone else asked, "Is there a Sana Amanat cameo?" Since I started doing these, I've not given any names of any of the people that I have based any of these cameos on. So you're just going to have to interpret it.
You just went
for
robot
yourself
voice over
there.
all.
I don't want to
that,
get in any
so
trouble.
I didn't
with
hear
you.
a word you said. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, damn it. Yeah, I said I'm not going to be revealing any of the identities of any of the real people that I may or may not have referenced in some of these characters. But yeah, you are more than welcome to come to your own conclusions, as valid as they may be.
Okay, so
man boobs? No, Elago, they're not man boobs. These are person boobs. These belong to a beautiful person who is genderless, obviously, because I mean we don't want to be bigoted.
With some really great definition between the deltoids and the tricep, mind you.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, that I don't know. This is, you know, you have to. That's what happens when you're swinging. But you also don't mind cupcakes and donuts, I guess.
Wait, is this a Ricada stream? Okay. So the guy with the beard, so the guy with the beard at the beginning, is that a conglomeration of multiple people?
No, I wouldn't say they're conglomerations. I'm just not going to say who they are.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that Cebulski? It looks like Cebulski, isn't it? I got to take another look.
No, I
I'll
think
put it up on the screen.
Like.
Dan Frager was saying he liked the little crumbs on his t-shirt and everything.
Mm-hmm. Now, was this all one 25-minute shot that you boiled down, or did you take something from another speech?
No, it's all from a 25-minute rant, and it's all in order too. So it's all exactly what he said. It's just it's got all the little side kind of, you know,
all the ums and sides and the deviation,
even more than
trials.
that. I mean, he actually covered a lot of things in this rant. He covered Comicsgate, he covered feminism, he covered the patriarchy, all that sort of stuff. But the funniest stuff, the most visual stuff, the stuff I could get the most jokes from was all related to what was going on with Marvel. So I thought, okay, I've got to focus it. And I just cut everything else out that wasn't kind of directly related to that line of thought. And that's how I got 25 minutes down to 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Speaking of thought, what I thought was hilarious, not my thought, not my THOUGHT, but what was hilarious about this isn't just how he's staring at her, but the hiring practice of, you know, a particular lady at Marvel who somebody, I think, you know, stupidly on Twitter, ripped by focusing in on her sweater modeling career or moment. And this looks like a reference to that. You know,
there are many subtle references in this video. That's why I was like, this one, you know, if ever any of these videos are going to get me in trouble, it's going to be this one, because there are a lot of many multi-layered references in here. You know, anyone who's kind of familiar with the history of Comicsgate and everything that went down will be able to pick up on a lot of this stuff. And
well, the thing that you've done with this video is, like, Ethan, he went through a lot of things and he's covering a lot of ground. He doesn't mention names, but you know these are the faces that are behind what he's saying. Like, you've captured exactly what he's talking about, exactly who he's talking about. And I mean, so what if it gets you in trouble? You know,
well, yeah, that's kind of the point of the video.
You're kind of a golden boy right now, and something's got to get you in trouble eventually.
I have somehow flown under the radar for a long time. I think it's because here's something different about me that I notice a lot of people are different to me. Is I am perfectly happy to just let you have the last word on Twitter. Like, I had an exchange with, you know, Fan Advocacy Network. He responded to this video and he said, if Comicsgate is fighting back against the left-wing activists who ruined Marvel, then why do you allow left-wingers in Comicsgate, like Donald and John Malin and you know, a bunch of others? And they said, well, it's not about left and right. it's about the activists taking over the thing to, ruin it essentially for their own means. If it was right-wing activists taking over Marvel, it'd be different. We'd be having a different kind of fight, but it would still be a fight. So, comics get his left and right like that, and he just came back and said that's effing stupid.
They were using.
And I think what's that?
I was saying they were using comics as a vehicle to push their ideology, right? So the stories came second to the ideology behind it. So instead of focusing on great stories and characters, everything becomes very plastic and choreographed because they only have one goal in mind, and that is to push a certain point of view. So there's nothing wrong with having morals in stories. I mean, that's a big part of the tradition. But it is only coming from one direction, and it is very heavy-handed. Ham-fisted, even one might say. But it becomes abundantly clear. I mean, just look at modern Star Wars. I mean, there's nothing wrong with there being a female lead, for instance, but why is it that the female lead is so great at everything? I mean, if you know me, I have no problem with female leads, obviously. But it's like, why is it
we know.
The damage goes even deeper than all of this, though. Like, it's not just
Preach it.
It's not just our culture for like who we think of as hero.
What is
Digglesworth?
You don't agree? Everyone's got an opinion. All right. So it's not just our cultural. It's not just our, what we like to see in our superheroes, but it's our cultural underpinning that entertainment has taken away from us. They've been telling us for like the last 5-10 years that we are the problem, that we're the ones that have created these unrealistic and unhealthy stereotypes when, they're the ones that were doing the casting couches. They're the ones that were hiring the actors. They're the ones that were doing were making casting choices based upon what they thought they wanted us to see. And, the reality is in comics, we had in the late 80s, early 90s, we had two black female women, or two, of course they're black, okay, two females leading the Avengers and the X-Men. And arguably, Storm is one of the best leaders the X-Men ever had. And the boys, the 14, 12, 9-year-old boys that were reading the comics of that day are the men of today. There's never been a problem in our entertainment for having anyone of color, any gender, and playing any role. And the idea that this is our problem has led to a population that feels unheard. The entertainment is trying to is whispering in our ear saying, yes, you're racist. And they're like, well, I'm not racist. And they're like, well, we're talking about them over there. And so we've had this entertainment whispering in our ear saying that we're the ones with the problem. And that because we don't now like to see our characters change, because we want to see Monica Rambeau, not Carol Danvers, that we hate women because we don't like that Captain Marvel, right? And because we want to see Wolverine kicking ass instead of being in a three-way with Cyclops and Jean Grey, we're the ones that are some kind of istrophobic. And the reality is, when you start blaming everybody for all the problems, they're going to start pushing back. But then you have other people that agree, and they start pushing each other. And now here we are pitted against each other because our entertainment has been whispering in our ears, telling us we're the problem.
Yeah, and I saw a tweet earlier that apparently the Wachowskis now are saying The Matrix was inspired by Rage Against Capitalism. And you all know how big of a fan I am.
They were inspired by Cyberpunk, Shadowrun, Ghost in the Machine.
We all know that. But the whole point is, back in the day, you could be, as left and radical and whatever. You could be like a communist, an anarchist, or whatever. Look at what's his face, Alan Moore, who made V for Vendetta, another one of my favorite stories. Exactly. But you could tell a story that is about shared values, or at least values that you can kind of you sympathize with, because they're human values. Let's say that. And they weren't partisan, and it wasn't a lecture. It was about good versus evil. and and that's kind of completely gone out the window, and that's what this whole thing is about. But now they want to go back and say, no, you can't be. You have to be basically a left-wing activist to. We've all been enjoying and still can enjoy the older stuff to this day, like Star Trek. I'm a huge Star Trek fan, but now they want to tell me that unless I'm a super far left-wing activist, I can't enjoy it, and it's bullshit. You can anyone of any political stripe can go back and watch those older Star Treks and get amazing messages and values and stories out of that, and plus entertainment. That's the difference. They used to be entertaining. That's what I like that bit in this video where he says, how about entertaining people? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that was like a key goal of all this?
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like I used to think back in my early 30s, I used to think we entertain ourselves to death, that we're wasting all of our time focusing too much on just pleasing ourselves as opposed to affecting change. And then I went to an expo. I went to a Comic-Con, and I realized, and then I saw how fan bases were interacting with each other, and how it didn't matter what you came dressed up as. It didn't matter who you loved or who you wanted to emulate. Everybody was just happy to see you, and it didn't matter if you're Marvel or DC. It didn't matter if you were Doctor Who or Star Wars or Star Trek. Everybody was just like, cool costume. Like, look at the time and attention you put into that. And that's something that we've lost because we don't have the entertainment. We don't even have the time. We don't have the things to put our time or energy into. So now, because we don't have this idea of being able to congregate and be together and hang out in a positive environment, we now have shit entertainment that nobody wants to be a part of anymore. Well, now we're stuck hanging out with each other without
now
anything
there's
fun
all
to do.
these, I mean, there's things like there's all these like small battles going on all over social media, between the original Star Trek fans and all the people who like the new stuff. What I've heard of the new Star Trek stuff is just absolutely abysmal. So that, and same with Doctor Who and everything. Yeah, all it just does is create these divisions and partitions between different fans because they just, I don't know, they're obsessed with pissing off the right people, according to them.
Well, you look at Doctor Who, it used to be who was your favorite Doctor, and just by someone saying who their favorite Doctor was, you actually knew when they started watching the show. But now you can't even ask them who their favorite Doctor is, because it's like, well, do you still like Doctor Who? And now it's become like there's hostility in that community between between the fans. The people who love Doctor Who, there is hostility between the fans. It's not like Star Wars versus Star Trek. It's Doctor Who versus Doctor Who. Like, that's crazy. How have we done that? How has entertainment done that to us?
Well, that's what happens when activists take it over and turn it into a propaganda machine for anarchy and socialism and nihilism.
Drink one for our lost entertainment.
Yeah, that's kind of, this is my this is, I thought maybe this is a bit controversial, this one.
I love that.
She's standing there, she's just mowed down and killed all of our old
AR.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's up to you to interpret. And
right.
and yeah, but then she's going to turn around after, the gun is still smoking and there's spent cartridges
cases.
all over. What are they called? Cases, not cartridges. Cases all over the floor. No, this was COVID. It had nothing to do with us.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
I can't believe they turned Cyclops gay. He spent how many years fighting Wolverine off in order to keep Jean to himself. And then they're like, oh, wait, we can just hang out together.
That's another factor to all this, Bandito, is that they can't even, if you want to have a character with that attribute, for whatever reason, they take and they retroactively apply it to existing characters, right? I mean, the most famous person being Iceman, I think. So, it's like, oh yeah, he always was this way. It's like, no, you just decide to check a box one day and make us accept it.
has it ever been clearer that they just do not respect these characters as characters? They're merely vessels upon which they can send out their message into the world. And they just be damned whatever came before, and anyone who ever got any enjoyment out of this. God forbid that you need to have some sort of consistency and value, and a character needs to be real for anyone to care about the story. No, what matters is, hey, we have this vehicle which we can just use. It's popular, and we can drive our message through that. And someone mentioned RJ up here, Nedicane. Yes, Fourth Age. Yeah, I was listening to a video while I was drawing this, a Fourth Age video while I was drawing this exact shot right here. So, RJ is fantastic. He goes into like the deep lore behind all the reasons why all this stuff is going on, and I love the Fourth Age videos. And it's so obvious. And Ethan was talking earlier how ironic it is, not comedically, like tragically ironic, that right now these extremist left activists are the ones out there right now burning down comic book shops and looting them as we speak right now, as they yell at us for kind of turning fandom toxic or whatever. They're the ones who are out there as we speak, ending any hope that the comic book industry had for any kind of, it was never going to be the same. It was going to be something different, but at least it had a glimmer of hope that it could, go on. And now that's all just kind of shot, because they were already struggling from the whole shutdown. And now what? Now they've got to go through insurance and everything. How many of these stores that have been looted and destroyed are just going to say, well, that's it? Like, what have I got to go back to anyway?
Yeah. It's tragic too, because like insurance and stuff doesn't really cover everything. And unless you've lost, I think it's like $20,000 or no, I think it's $100,000. It's something crazy like that. Unless you've lost well over a certain amount for insurance isn't going to cover it.
That should not even be part of the conversation. You shouldn't be a scumbag and loot things. I don't care about your pain. Your pain doesn't justify you get to go inflict pain on other people. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about any of that. It's irrelevant. It's immaterial. I'm tired of hearing about feelings and how much pain people are in. The pain I see are people on the side of the road saying, my business is gone, or, my husband was just beat to death for no reason.
There's a video going around of a girl whose sister was shot, I heard, and someone just commented here, another cop got killed. It's just like, you're exactly right, Poland. That there's pain out there, on the other side, and it's just like everyone wants to ignore that and say, no, we got to acknowledge this other group's pain, while they just run rampant through the society, basically.
Yeah, those people running out of Target with all the Nikes and everything, they seem like they're really, really grieving.
Yeah, it's just nothing out there. Hey, thanks, Joe. It's it's crazy. It's we're kind of getting onto some sadder things right now, but we were celebrating just before, and we were looking at this cartoon. I know this cartoon does get a bit. I'm sorry. Does get a bit sad towards the end here, and there was no way around that. I did try and finish off on a bit of a joke, but it just didn't really fit with what Ethan was saying. So I did have to kind of cap it off with like, look at the state we're in. Just look at it. This is real. This is really happening, and it's God. It's just. It's insane. It really is. Don't you feel like we're living in some bizarro world? Where just everything is topsy turvy. Although maybe not bizarro world. It's just the way the media presents the world is bizarro. The way they're covering everything that's happening with the rioting, the way they talk about what happened with comic books, just everything basically. It's all so bizarro.
Yeah, yesterday on Twitter of all places,
your snowflake looks better than the actual snowflake.
She looks pregnanter. So,
no, that's Trailblazer.
Trailblazer.
So yeah, Trailblazer. I was drawing Trailblazer, and I'm like, hang on.
Trailblazer.
Someone with a body like that is not going to have very neat legs with, like a gap in between the legs, and like there's going to be serious, heft down there. So I did a few alterations. I turned that freaking Dracula thing into a little gum at the back.
And
that's
the
what
comic,
it looks like to me.
supposedly she's always running ahead in order to be in the middle of the fray or whatever. Like she's the Trailblazer.
Yeah, she's the Trailblazer.
Like, she ain't doing no running. Who are you talking about?
No, those cankles go all the way up.
Yeah, but imagine getting stuck in like a. Imagine getting stuck in some kind of leg trap in between those things, like getting your head trapped in those thighs. That's instant suffocation.
If you're reading the chat out of sync, Joseph King had a comment about how things are kind of bad out there, but y'all are here talking about there's no gaps in Trailblazer's legs, and I look over and I see it's always darkest before the dawn.
Well, it's dark in those thighs. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
it's they haven't seen sunlight in a long time. Cartooning style. Well, yeah. Look, a lot of people have been complimenting me on the cartoon and everything. It is a pretty, I hope, understood. It's a kind of a direct reference to the Ricky Gervais style cartoon. So yeah, I don't want to take too much credit for all that. I mean, I did have to draw it, yeah, but it's pretty. The reference, I hope, is pretty clear.
So, getting to Xevius's statement there, it's true. We do have this community, and even though things are a little, I don't know, crazy in Comicsgate right now, there's still lots of great people, lots of great creators. And we were talking just behind the scenes there, and it was like, a channel like this, a book like this, something that's coming out that doesn't have any negativity attached to it, that's really here just to entertain and just to be a part of the community. We needed this. This is what Comicsgate is about. The people in the chat, I mean, there isn't a sexier chat out there. And
agreed. How the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I know for myself, like, there was a lot of reasons not to be super excited about what was happening in Comicsgate, but there's lots of creators and there's lots of people, lots of books, lots of projects just like this one. I really encourage everybody just to find something that they can love and just kind of get behind it. Not that as Xevious says, like, no homo, just love the projects in front of you. Anyway, yeah, I'm all worked up and out of ice, so I'll be back.
Well, El Argo, they're basically it's the exact same idea. So Ricky Gervais, Carl Pilkington, and Stephen Merchant used to do a radio show. So it's pretty much the exact same idea. And then, a TV company approached them and said, "We want to animate a lot of your stories because they are so hilarious." And that's pretty much what I've done. I've just taken the same thing. I take some of the best bits and animate it. It matches the same style. So if you go there and if you ever you Google YouTube or whatever, the Ricky Gervais show, you'll see, it's a direct influence. What I'm doing, it's a direct influence. Even the way it's all edited and everything. Joe says that was very homo, and not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, who said up here earlier? No thigh gap for Trailblazer. Yeah, look, in fantasy there needs to be at least some level of believability. You can't have someone with that body shape with a thigh gap. It just rips you out of the story. It's so unbelievable. So yeah, I had to get a little bit realistic with that. Yeah, radio. It was Sirius Radio, Sirius FM, and a radio. Yeah, it did have an X in it. You're right, but. Yeah, man, I used to jog and listen to that. Those, you could get them on podcasts. They're pretty old now, but my God, are they hilarious, those guys.
Well, and Frege.
Okay, so there's this idea there from Nerdicane. I know a few guys who worked on that show. Heard Ricky was chill. Cool. There's an idea there from Nerdicane. He's putting out some of his ideas that we should not steal. Go up about 6, 7. I don't know.
Theft is the best form of flattery.
Yes. I've been kicking around an idea of a fat guy. Okay, I'm with you. Who gets a power suit that can amplify his physical abilities. Okay, so the suit amplifies what strength he has, no matter how little or much. That chronicles his journey to getting fit. This sounds pretty good if it's ancillary to the story, if it's not the core of the story. But if it's just something going on with the character that gives the character depth, this is great. I think, like, no problem. But if this is the story, I don't know, it might need something more.
Yeah, it's a premise. It's like with my story, the premise is, there's, there's more going on in the dreams than led to believe, and, you can kind of kick it off from there. But yeah, you do have to get a story out of that. There needs to be all the elements that go into the story.
But I wanted to point it out because I liked it. Like, I actually like that idea. So.
Yeah, there is room, in comics for any kind of story, as long as it's well crafted and well done. That's what a lot of these people don't get, is they think, oh, well, you don't like this character, that must mean you don't like that kind of person, or you're this sort of bigot or something. And no, it's because the story was not crafted as a story. It's this piece of propaganda that you're trying to sell. You've packaged in the same packaging as a comic, but it's not really a comic because it's not a story. These aren't real characters, and you've shown that you don't think they're real characters. You don't believe they're real characters. So why should we think they're real characters?
Yeah, but a device like that is also useful in a comic in particular, because as the character grows and changes over story arcs and becomes more fit, you've got the visual mimicking what's going on in the abstract. I think that's pretty cool too.
Yeah. So and Nerdicane has said there's a lot more. So that's just sort of where he's starting from. Well, do it. Everyone, if you've got a story out there and you want to do it, let's do it. Get it going. Get it started.
I'm a firm believer that everybody has a story to tell, and you just got to figure out the best way to get it out.
Who said everybody has a novel to write, but most of them shouldn't? Novels are hard. Oh, wow. Check this out, guys. Did you see this number? Are you seeing that? Am I on the screen? Yeah, I am. Wow. 982. We are getting close. We're going to have our...
20K! Congrats.
What's that? 20K what? What are you looking at?
No. I'm saying that's going to be our next stream that we're going to have to do quick.
20,000 for the Lucent.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that'll come tomorrow, sure.
Oh, you're looking at 1,000 subscribers. Gotcha.
Robert Romano, thanks, man. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I looked back at some of the stats, and I was pulling in something like, I don't know, $1,300, $1,500 a day for like at least 2 or 3 days. So it was a big boost that we got. So it's crazy.
400 Swedish krona from 140,000.
Oh, what are you looking at?
Swedish krona.
Oh, on the site. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm over on. I'm in my next tab.
Yeah. You're confusing me there. Swedish krona. Here it is. Hey.
Yeah, that's a good number. Always a little.
Yeah, we're close, huh? Yeah, that's right. It's a one book. One book will. Oh no, 2 books. 2 books will get us over 140,000 Swedish krona. So yeah, all you Swedes out there, or anyone who just wants to buy it, it'll convert. Make sure you jump on it. I've got to get all the stuff weighed and everything, because I really want to figure out, what do I want to do. I do like the idea of a big fold-out poster. That's something that's, I think, I hope it can all fit in, as long as it all fits in the box and it's all under 500 grams. Whatever that is in ounces, I don't know, but that's what we use here.
It's like 7 ounces.
Hell yes, 20K for the Lucent. God, it makes me. We're entering territory now that is above what I'd planned in my spreadsheet. I was, I talk through it with Mel, my wife, and say, okay, and down here, this is like the dream level. We're sort of getting up to that and beyond now. So this is crazy. And I was talking to Dan Frager today. Ethan's showing my video on his stream. People are talking about the book. It's all happening. The snowball is well and truly rolling down the hill.
I'm sorry, I converted the wrong way. It's like 17 and a half ounces.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know ounces from pebbles. You guys talk about all that stuff, and I don't really know what you're saying. I mean, we know feet here.
Well,
we look in feet for height.
Mm-hmm.
So well, you know what I'm talking about. So when I say how tall I am, I do it in feet and inches. So we know feet and inches, but pounds and ounces, it's all. What's Antoine saying? Playing devil's advocate. Many of those on the left see themselves as little more than surface characteristics, so they're baffled when we don't connect to the characters that are purely surface. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people out there who are just they just don't understand why we're so upset. But that is how this has happened. That's how we find ourselves in the situation that we're in. Is you do have malicious activists, people who do wrangle themselves into positions of influence and power, specifically for the goal to put a little wedge into a crack and then very gently and very slowly tap at that wedge bit by bit, instance by instance, so that every time the wedge gets tapped and the crack gets a little bit bigger, it's very small. So that when someone does say, well, hang on, why is this now? You get the wave of people going, what are you complaining about? What are you worried about? It's only a tiny little change. Why are you caring about this tiny little change? Are you a racist? Are you a bigot? So, and then they and then that all dies down, and then they tap it again, and then bit by bit that crack gets bigger and bigger and bigger until 5-10 years later you're left with a massive fractured industry. Anton says he love a poster, doesn't want it folded. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It would have to be folded. So I don't know. It might not be a poster. I might not be able to do a poster because it might weigh too much. So maybe a big sticker. I don't know. Something. I do want to show Ella in a little bit of a more advanced look to her. Michael, did you see the Max cartoon MTV Oddities in the 90s?
That was such a good cartoon, and I love the comic.
No, I didn't.
Oh my
I didn't.
goodness.
I remember the comic, but I didn't see the cartoon.
Yeah, I was just looking to see if I had the Max here, but I don't.
I wouldn't say my story's weird. I know it delves in dreams and everything. I wouldn't say it's weird. I'd say it's actually a bit more. It's a bit more traditional. I'm a big advocate of the hero's journey and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely. Hopefully, it's a little bit trippy at times. It's definitely got some weird people and weird powers and things happening. There's going to be a lot of twists and turns and mysteries, but I wouldn't say it's going to be a head trip. Like there's guys out there, Skits guys making the Skits comic, and they're dealing with dreams as well. And everything I've seen from them has just been a full on head trip. Like it's weird stuff. So if you're really into the weird stuff, absolutely check out the Skits guys because it looks pretty cool. And I think they're launching in. Tomorrow. I think they're launching tomorrow. So if you're not on their mailing list, go and sign up to those guys.
All right.
People seem to like that Max cartoon.
Antoine has mentioned a couple times that he doesn't want folds in his poster. You can iron it out. So there is a way to kind of make it so that the creases are minimal. But at the same time, it's like, what can the campaign do? As there's the things that you want to do, but then there's options there's the things you want to do, but then there's the things that you can do. And having a poster that you can, I'd be fine with a comic book sized another one, because then what you can do is you can frame both prints and you can put those side by side.
Okay.
Right.
All
and
right.
if the if you're saying you're going to do an original piece of artwork. If you made it so that it was complementary to the other, or like what's it called when it's like the opposite? That one's all blue, whatever.
Like a foil.
Yeah, like however they go back and forth kind of thing. If you make it so that they look like they should go together, that would be a neat thing for everybody too. Like you're building on what's already there. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
As opposed to just tossing in an extra thing. Hey, have a button. You know, it's like, well, no, build the project, make it bigger and bigger and bigger.
All right.
I can tell I'm getting
like the sound of it.
really slow. I'm sorry, everybody.
Hey, Zade Comics is here.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah, dude. You're on crazy too. I'm seeing you're just like kicking goals every day. So congratulations. Yeah, I don't know. It's been crazy for me. Like I said, it's just all of a sudden, it feels like towards the end of the campaign, people really started to notice it, and it just went berserk. And yeah, it's been a crazy thing to watch, and very exciting. Very exciting.
Bancroft evangelists everywhere now.
There are. I'm very happy to see them.
It's the product.
I've got my people out there spreading the word, spreading the good word.
Nah, it's the product. If it wasn't for the product, nobody would say anything. So you know,
Michael,
you've done well.
I wore this avatar on Frega's stream. He's like, oh, I see you got the Lucent there. I'm like, yeah, let me talk about the Lucent.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch this.
Yeah,
that was really fun.
Gave you a good plug.
That was really fun. He's as fun to talk to as he is to watch, and I'm so happy that the Lucent Waking Dream on the road. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to getting him on our show, and also getting on his show as well. Oh, Joe only has one hype man, and he's a fairy. I'm sorry, Joe.
We can be your hype team, Joe.
Yeah, we hype Joe a fair bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Joe. We were on with Joe on that show too.
Everybody, if you haven't already, go take a look at Slaughter Squad. It's a great looking comic, and Joe's a really super cool guy.
And super talented.
This is, very talented.
This is a guy you want to give money to because he has ample ideas and ability to be able to see those ideas through. What he doesn't have is stacks of cash. But if you give him stacks of cash, he will not disappoint. And if you go, let's take a look at his campaign right now and show the cartoon. For those who haven't seen it, I mean, it's really well done. And he's got video game ideas, and he's got, you know, like this guy, he wants to do stuff. Give him your money so that he can do stuff. Do stuff for you guys.
He's got some really, like, he's got one of those campaigns. Phil from Zade Comics is another one as well, where you've got characters that would, you know, just lend themselves to so many different things. Like everyone's talking about toys and figures at the moment. Other people are talking about games. It's just not working. What's going on?
Michael, look, Tatsunami's catching on. Tatsunami understands what we're doing.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing. The chat always knows. The chat always knows.
Which one is it? It's this one. Oh yeah, you're going well. We need to get him. Oh, you're on 21,000 Swedish krona. Did you know that?
Yes, making it happen for Joe.
Hang on, I'm not going to. I don't think the audio is going to play. So hold on, I'll just let it load. A sec.
Why you got to be like that?
Because I do. Because this is the amateur hour, and that's the way we like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way.
Do you only have 1 hour?
We like it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am at work.
Oh, you're at work.
It's like 10 o'clock for me. I was able to call in to a thing I showed just quickly, but yeah, I wouldn't have been able to stay much longer because I do have work to do. Here we go. Share that. All right, so we can watch this. Hey, look, there's mine. So we'll just watch the quick one because I do have to close the stream out in about a couple of minutes.
Okay.
But, get off that. What is that?
Bandito.
God, I hate
the face of Comicsgate.
I am the what?
The face of Comicsgate.
Oh no, I don't want that responsibility.
Are we ready?
Joe says he could live like a king in Sweden. Maybe. I think they already have a king, don't they? You could usurp the king of Sweden. All right, here we go.
You sure you want to go back in there? You're dead meat.
Love it. And anyone who hasn't seen it and like the look of that, go on to Slaughter Squad.
And
Check out the long cartoon that he did. We don't have time right now.
Yeah.
Did I? Yeah, I was just saying, if you haven't already, go on to his go to Slaughter Squad and check out the longer cartoon, because it is a thing of beauty.
I love it the way you say that word. Our accent on that word isn't as rich.
What word's that?
Beauty.
Slaughter.
Slaughter. Yeah, there's two things going on in there. There's the slaw.
Oh.
So I'm doing what's that? A diphthong.
Oh.
And then the ta. Slaughter. Slaughter Squad. My wife is like rolling her eyes right now, going, "Oh my god, you sound so Aussie on the stream." I can't help it. This is how I talk.
He's the best.
Work it.
Yeah, and go back it as well too. Hey, Antoine, you are so right. This is a long game thing. I'm just saying that some of these people have books that can really they have those kind of characters. But yeah, Ethan can do it now because he's about to crack $1 million on his campaign. So let's take it one step at a time for everyone else.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you want to back those campaigns that you want to get excited about. I mean, when I look at the Lucent, the reason I got excited about it, I was just like, I can tell that there's a story going on here already by just the way it's drawn. You can see that there's a story just in the artwork. If the artwork can convey a story, I have faith that the writing will also be able to add to that story.
Yeah, someone was saying up earlier that it was her eyes that sold the book to them, that she's looking right at you. And that's a little bit of like, I know that stuff from, I worked in magazines a little bit. You know, the reason why they have big face on the front of a magazine looking directly at the camera, it just captures your attention and kind of, it draws you in. So that was that's always good to see that my mind games are working. Maidenhealth says my Australian is showing.
Well, hey, at least you can speak.
How did I get so drunk in an hour? Why did you guys do to me? Oh my goodness.
Nobody paid me to count for you. At least you can speak normally instead of with an accent like Americans do.
Yeah.
You all have accents to me.
I've always told them
everyone.
very neutral.
I need another drink.
What's this? Elago says, check out my YouTube channel. I'm getting started on it. Good. Make short videos where I pull old Jack Show streams, call them Jack Show Rewind. Okay. Everyone go check out Elago if they like the sound of that. And it's on the hour. Guys,
yes.
Thank you so much for being here again. Hey, we're going to have a guest tomorrow.
All right.
We're going to talk about a new book. I'm pretty sure we are. I will release that information once I get it. What's it called?
Confirmed.
Locked in. Oh, there it is. Slaughter. Yeah, there's something going on with the A though. I do it's called a diphthong. I don't know. It's where the vowels kind of. It's how you pronounce the vowels. So. Yeah, maybe you should consider changing the title to that. Oh, you could have an Aussie character in there, like a Steve Irwin type character. That would be cool.
But
anyway,
we'll
guys,
continue with diphthongs tomorrow.
Yes, let's not get into the linguistics just yet, especially with Smiling Bandito. They're slowly melting in front of us all.
No, I'm good. Ready for round 2. Let's go.
Maidenhealth's from Queensland. I'm from Queensland too. I'm from Cairns. I live in Melbourne now. I've lived here pretty much my whole life, but I lived born and raised in Cairns up until about the age of 6 or 7. Love Queensland. And we look forward to it. We'll let you know who the guest is tomorrow. They've got a really cool looking book, and I'm really looking forward to chatting to them and kind of seeing what they're all about. But everyone, I know a lot of you guys are backers of the Loose End, so thank you so much. You guys are the ones who've gotten me up to this point, or gotten us. I feel like this is our thing now. Like we've all been doing this together now for a solid month, and it's really great. I'm having so much fun doing these streams and chatting with you guys. And yeah, I look forward to doing it again tomorrow. So hail, peace out. Yes, hail and cheers. Thank you. You like the drawings? Where was it here? Drawings.
Drawings.
Yeah, great. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Hail and well met.
Hail the chat, of course.